Good morning, good morning, good morning. How y'all doing this morning? We're gonna let a few people get in the room, man. I'm super excited. I'm geeked up about today. I'm geeked up about what I have to share with you this morning on our infamous Sun Slappers. It's our edition. This is the part of Trust the Process that we're speaking to individuals who like to greet the sun, like to greet their day, have been intentional about saying, look, we know what we know what path we're on, we know where we're trying to go, or you're getting there and you want to be in a community with folks with and get information at the start of your day to help set your day. That's what this is about. That's what Sun Slappers is about. And I'll get to that. I'll get to where you can go to my YouTube page. You can go back at on Facebook. We know we can go through all those things, but I need you to join the community. I need you to like, share, and subscribe to Trusting the Process Facebook page. I need you to subscribe. To my YouTube page so we can grow the community, Lord. So we can. Oh man, that's the. I see it. I just feel the spirit this morning. I just finished praying. I just listen. And this is why I go live, because I want you to get the unedited version. God is doing some amazing things. And just before when I was getting set up, and I'll share this with you, and I'm totally pivoting at this point. My wife was upstairs cooking breakfast, and we don't get a chance a lot of times to have breakfast together. So she was cooking breakfast, and I'm downstairs, and the Holy Spirit said, "Hey, you may not want to get started, right now, because she's gonna come through that door and she's gonna tell you that your food is ready." And it's when I'm 5 minutes in, I'm doing my thing. I'm like, boom, and then I hear the door crack. She at the top of the stairs, giving me hand signals, and but you can hear the door open. You can hear her coming down the stairs, and she didn't know. She was just doing her regular thing that she would do. But the fact that I was warned, the fact that the Holy Spirit said, "Hey, get yourself prepared, because this is about to happen." Now, I'm responsible for how I react to what I now know is going to happen, to what I now know is a possibility. I'm responsible now on my attitude, my posture, how I react, setting the tone throughout what's about to happen through that exchange. And I just remember looking up at the stairs at her, and I was like, I kind of gave her that, I'm down here recording kind of look or whatever. She gave it a quick look, and then she went upstairs, right? But I was able to not get caught off guard, because God warned me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is about. It's about teaching us to hear that spirit, to hear what God is saying to you before something happens. So Sun Slappers is that space, and we only spend about 10, 15 minutes sometimes really trying to get our point across to what we're trying to say, or what I'm trying to get out to you. And so that's what, in Trusting the Process, we have, Sun Slappers, and we have Say It With Your Chest with co-host Mike Sears. And we also have Shift Happens, and then we also have the Trusting the Process. So there's 4, levels of trusting the process. There's many examples that we're going to be giving and sharing, and you can find all that content, all of the information, the powerful knowledge that we're going to be sharing, and examples right on the YouTube page, and I'll show you how to get to that. But let's jump into why I'm here this morning, and what we wanted to talk about last. A couple of days ago, we were talking about how I got to where how I became who I am, and in that, how am I becoming who I will be. And so, I wanted to put this out here real quick, and I know I'm telling myself. So this is one of the when it started, right? I was in JROTC at Martin Luther King High School. Shout out to the greatest high school in the country. 3,200. East Lafayette. I'm going to always give y'all shouts out and love because y'all made me who I am. But, fast forward, that's my dog, Butch, my German Shepherd. And that's me, young fly me, in my JROTC uniform with my color cord on. And I wanted to be in the Army like my grandfather. Like, I saw examples, and they said, okay, if you do this, then you'll be able to, go into the Army, right? But I had no intentions of I had no, concept of what that really, really meant. It was just the fact that I'm following, behind my grandfather, because look at everything that he had became in and what he does. So, that's you see the young fly dude, you know what I'm saying? So I keep these receipts, you know what I'm saying? And I'll get off market for a little bit. Keep your receipts, young dogs. Like, keep your receipts. That way, what you could be able to show people by example what you went through and things of that nature. So that led to that. And so, that was a perfect example of saying, okay, JROTC, boom. Then I get into, football, I'm playing football. I'm at the height, I get to make some changes. And let me show this. I got to bring this in here to you. I got to bring this in here to you because you need to see, again, if no one shows you the receipts, then what you believe in. I want you to believe. I need you to be a part of my life. I need you to be a part of the story. So when you feel comfortable enough, telling your story, right? So, I told you about the JROTC piece, right? And so that led me into, I'm playing football too, and I'm feeling I'm that man, you know what I'm saying? And you see Lee down there, right? Because, it's Mr. Lee, you know what I'm saying? Comes from my middle name, Leroy. So they cut it short to Lee, and it was Mr. Lee. So that's where you get Mr. Lee from. And that's if depending on where you met me and what you call me is where I know you from, right? And so, it's just as exciting as I am in everything that I do, and you see me in powerful and tone and atmosphere. I learned how to be that on that football field. I learned how to be exciting and dominant and have authority and take control on that football field, even before I became a police officer. And then I had a great group of guys, you know what I'm saying? Remember I talked in my last episode about, Donnie, Chuck, and Kevin, and myself starting a Christian fraternity at Western Michigan University. Chuck is still one of the greatest DJs in the world, and he's still out there. Kev is in Texas with Keita and his family, and she's a part of the sorority too. Donnie, of course, and Mary, they moved back home, and she's the CEO of the COO of the Bernstein Clinic in Pontiac. And I'm telling my story right now. So, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, right? Like, show me the people that you're going to hang around, and I'll show you what your future going to be like. And people say that all the time, but this is a true example, right? And we were young, we young in college, and, we just figuring we can do what we want to do, but we were brothers who came together to understand what that would look like. And right. So, and then growing in through that, it got to a point where I'm like, okay, I had Z, you know what I'm saying? Zion, you know what I'm saying, came into my life, and you see me here, you know what I'm saying? I used to tell that boy, hey boy, you want to eat? You hold your own bottle. You know what I'm saying? I started training him early on how to take care of himself and how to provide for himself, but yet have the comfort of a father and know that, your parents is going to be there for you and do what needs to be done for you. So, I bring you to all of this, and I'm telling you all of this because, you can't really just, you cannot always put yourself in a position where it's everybody else. Like, you're going to have to do some work. Like, you're going to have to do some work to get yourself out of these positions that you gotten yourself in, that you made choices to put yourself in. But I wanted to say, just, there's a pattern, right? There's a pattern in your life. There's things that you have done. There's things that you couldn't control. And now there's things that you can control, and you are the common denominator in all of that. So when we're saying set your day, when I'm saying, hey, get up with me before the sun, when I'm saying, follow the path or follow example and get folks in front, I'm telling you things that work. And sometimes it's going to hurt. And sometimes it's just not going to feel good. It is. That's the part of it. And it ain't is what it is. It's what it's going to be. What you say is going to be. and how you determine that, and how we're going to get this heart together, and how we're going to get this mind together, right? So that's what this is about. And I got about 4 minutes left. So we get there, and we what's amazing about it all is I took that with me, right? I took that with me. I took that with me when I became a police officer, and I should have put that in there, but we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But then, you know what I'm saying, while I was a police officer, this at Pontiac Central High School in Pontiac. So don't let nobody tell you what you have to be born and raised in a certain space, right? Like, you're going to get to the spaces that you need to get in because of the fact that, because of who you are and where God is going to lead you to be. So I was riding motorcycles, had a crew, and, you know, I had owned my own entertainment company at that time. You know, I was into concerts, throwing concerts and things down there. Say, well, what are we going to do for the kids? What are we going to do for the community? But as you can see what I did for the community. You can see right here. This is the start of it. This is the start of, at Pontiac Central High School, which is no longer there. And we'll get to why Pontiac Central is no longer there. But that's where it started at, in the community, in the heart of the community, and getting the community to see and getting the community to understand that, you know, I'm not just here to take from you. I'm here to bring to you and show you, you know, some things about me, right? I am a Detroiter, East Sider, proud of it, you know what I'm saying? But I was living in a city, in a community that I wanted to know how they got down. I wanted to see, I didn't want to come in and change what they do and change who they are and turn them into a Detroit or anything like that. You can't turn a East Side Detroit nowhere. That's only on the, you get the East Side Detroit on the East Side Detroit. You can't get the East Side, you can't go, you could take some of the attributes, you could take some of the things that you learn, and you can take it to a different place. But then that place has its own culture. It has its own thing. It has its own, you know, space. Everything has its own entity. And so I had to mix, I learned to mix the two and absorb myself in the culture of, you know, what Pontiac had to offer. You can create yourself. Pontiac is a healing place. Pontiac is a space where, you know, entrepreneurs drive. Like they just produce them over and over and over again. Like they produce NBA players, like they produce NFL players. Like it's a great place. It's a nice place to raise a family. It's calm. Specifically, if you're coming from an area that I grew up in, what I was used to. And there's some calmer spots in Detroit. There's same places or cultural type activities or entities that you can find in Detroit, that you can find in Pontiac. But that wasn't mine. So I had to go to Pontiac. God shipped me to Pontiac to learn it over time. But again, I got another minute and a half, and we'll get to that. So the what I'm trying to get to you today is find out the parts about you that you know you need to work on, and just start working on them. Like, go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Start writing your story down from the beginning. Go back to the beginning and then figure it out for you. Not for anybody else, figuring it out for you. You know, and again, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for just coming here and just being a part and just giving me your time. And so I'm running out of time right here. So I need you to go to the page, right? I need you to go to the page. You see it here. Look, y'all, I only have 38 subscribers. I need you to help me grow this community. I need you to help me grow this community, because it's important that we grow this community so we can get some folks in there. We can get some folks in this community to help other people. As I say, help real people with real problems, and we can help them get some real solutions, because we know how to trust the process, or we beginning to trust the process. Whatever phase and level we are in our process, where we're trying to find our purpose, that could be used to help somebody else. That's why we're here on this planet, to help and use somebody else. So I went over, I need y'all to help me grow this channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, just click in, go to search, click in YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Then go to Mr. Trust the Process. If you want, my handle is Mr._Trust the Process, all one word. And let's grow this channel, y'all. Let's grow this channel. Hey, listen, God bless you. Be intentional about today. Show up for yourself today. You have today. As Dr. Eric Thomas would say, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us be happy that we saw it and we opened up our eyes. That's the beginning. Let's set the attitude. That is the beginning. That's the attitude of a winner. That's the attitude when you want to raise your hand, you want to raise the trophy. It starts right now when you don't feel like it. It starts when your eyes open up. When your eyes open up, you should be looking for the smoke. You should be looking for action. And you've been following me. If you've been following me for a while, you know it doesn't always happen like that. But you got to get to that. You got to work your way to that point where you're like, okay, I'm ready. And then when you get ready, then you start. And so I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what you're doing, how you're doing.